What's going on, folks? It is the Tipping Point Morning Show right here, right now. It is a new day. It is July 23rd, 2022. And guess what? This is the only July 23rd, 2022 that you will ever have in your life. So make today a great day. I got my brother from another mother, brother John Yah, Esoteric Concepts himself here in the building with me. Brother, how you doing?
I'm good, brother. Sorry about that. Had some technical difficulties this morning with my computer. It's acting all slow and everything, but it's all good. I'm here, baby.
Let's see. Let me see something real quick.
Can you hear me?
Brother Leonard Walker, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Okay, so I got an issue on my end. Give me 1 second here. I have having some tech issues myself.
Can you hear me? You can't hear me? Okay.
All right. Give me 1 second, folks. Let's see. All right. Connected music voice. And give me one other thing to look at. All right.
I'm telling you, this is crazy.
All right, there we go. Man, I tell you what, this morning, hey, they be trying to hold us back. They be trying to stop us. Things be happening, but guess what? What the universe wants, the universe gets. So once again, it is the livest show, podcast show every Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Man, how was your week?
Man, it was good. Can you hear me good?
Absolutely. I can hear you grand.
Good.
So that's what's up. So good week. I had a good week. Coming back again, Tulsa, I guess a week ago, and now it's came out to Cincinnati.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Yesterday. Yeah, just went out there just to kind of hang out for a little bit, and then found out about a concert that I knew nothing about. Big concert there.
It's just a big weekend.
Jackson's gonna be there, and okay, yeah, all type of stuff. So I was down there, and I was gonna stay overnight, but hotels were way overpriced.
Yeah.
You talk about 2 and 1 stars sitting in the hundreds, and I'm like, nah, I'll go ahead and take this hour and a half drive home. So it's all good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Hey man, we got a great show coming up.
We sure do.
We got brothers right here waiting, and we're gonna go ahead and get them on. But first, folks, my brother, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's get it.
You are listening to The Tipping Point Show with your host, Mr. Just Ask Joe, John Yah. Right here on WLOU. Stream it live on Facebook and WLOUonline.com. And now, The Tipping Point Show.
All right, man. Without further ado, we want to go ahead and kick off our first section, which is the crypto wrap-up with this brother. This brother has always been an amazing new facet of our show every Saturday morning, and the relationship has been grand. So we want to bring him on up. This is Mr. Crypto Kenny from the Bitcoin Campus. Crypto Kenny, how you doing there, brother? Welcome to the Tipping Point Morning Show. You got your Bitcoin Campus shirt on today.
Yeah. I've been putting it on anytime I have some conversations, doing business meetings. I'm trying to get all the way back into business mentality, and sometimes wearing the shirt puts me in a proper state of mind. So I appreciate you noticing that. Definitely.
Absolutely.
But I wanted to come on the call today, the show, and really talk about some things that I've been thinking about the last few days. And it's really the power of part-time, right? You know, I look at the things that I've done the past few years, and you know, I would usually go from, you know, working something aggressively full-time to then replacing it with whatever I created, and then doing that full-time, and then using that to invest. The average person to get over the hump, because most people are living paycheck to paycheck. If you want to get yourself out of living paycheck to paycheck, you're going to have to probably work harder and work smarter. So you're going to have to live below your means and then work harder on whatever it is that's bringing you your main bread and butter, and then identify part-time business opportunities that you can use that extra money to invest. That's how it gets done. There's no other secret besides that. Most people, what they struggle with is trying to use, they're not living below their means, right? Yeah. So their spending habits are right around the amount of money that they're making, right? So they haven't really identified in their brain how to lower what they're spending in correlation to what they're making. You know, a lot of successful people say that, you know, they're not going to buy something unless they can buy it 10 times. You know, they're not going to buy a home unless they can buy that home 10 times, unless they could buy a car 10 times. You know, but what does that mean? You know, even jewelry, I'm not going to buy this unless I could, you know, buy it 10 times over. Now, we hear that all the time, but to actually factor that in and implement in what you already have going on takes immense discipline until you get to that point where you have a system that you have in place that continuously brings you extra revenue. Now, even when you get that extra revenue, those extra funds, if you don't have your money working for you, if you're just putting it away for savings, or if you're just putting it aside, that money is eventually going to disappear, because something's going to happen, whether you want something, an emergency comes up, an extra bill comes up, you know, maybe something happens to your car, whatever the case may be. Whenever you save money and just hold it to the side and it's just sitting there not growing, it's eventually going to be used, you know. So what I encourage everybody to do on this show is identify where your money could come in part-time, spare time, through your own creativity or what you've found. And then once you've implemented that structure, take that money and invest it so that your money's working for you. So that's what I've done with the crypto space. So much so that I've eventually I got the opportunity to do it full time. And I was doing it full time for about a year and change. Even right now, I still do it full time because of, you know, other projects that I have working on. So, but when things slow up, the multiple streams of revenue that I have, I can focus on whatever is bringing me the most money at that time. So that's how you have to do it. When you have multiple streams, you give your attention towards what's really providing you what you need to take it to the next level. So everybody, everybody in society needs extra revenue to build their businesses. It's not, you know, that's a given. But the real challenge comes from balancing that and putting that money aside and living amongst that discipline. So, you know, just to wrap it up, you know, we do have a 5-day challenge coming up. I partnered with a gentleman by the name of Brandon Ivy, who runs an academy for crypto education. You know, I wanted to make sure that the focus stays on educating yourself properly. There's a lot of things out there in crypto that are working, that people are generating extra revenue and passive income from. But we live in a society where the mentality is, I want to get something for nothing. And I want to kind of try and change that with the people that follow Bitcoin Campus or follow myself to really dive into the fact that, you know, you really want to work harder for the things that you get. Work harder and work smarter. So the focus is education. We have a 5-day challenge from the 25th through the 29th. When I get off this segment, I'll put the link in the thread. So for those that want to join that 5-day challenge with Brandon Ivy's academy, they can do that. It's free, right? So that gives more education out to the masses just to plug in. So the only thing you have to dedicate is your time, right? And this will give you an opportunity for 5 days in a row to understand different aspects of crypto that can really take your business to the next level. So, just trying to give these types of things to the marketplace so that they have an opportunity to grow the right way. And yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to share with the group this morning.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I tell you what, man, that 5-day challenge. So I guess all people would really need to do, right? So let's just take a look at this real quick. People want to join that 5-day challenge. What would they have to do?
Well, I'm gonna put a link in the chat once we're done. And they just need to register to that link. That'll give them the specifics of where to go. And all they have to do after that is just show up. Show up.
Cost to it?
No, it's free.
So it's free. It's free. When you're not even charging for this 5-day challenge.
No. This is this is something that Brandon does as a part of his business plan to give back to the market. If you guys are familiar with Brandon Ivy, he's somebody that is speaking about crypto 24/7. He's always doing Facebook Lives. He's always doing trainings. He's always doing some sort of presentation regarding education on cryptocurrency. So when I seen that gentleman working that hard on his craft, it was somebody I wanted to partner with because the educational aspect is something that we can never get enough of. Until you understand what you're doing and how to make money for yourself and how to grow it, it's important to constantly educate yourself so you put yourself in the right frame of mind and equip yourself with what's necessary to be successful in this volatile space.
Absolutely. So here, let me just I'm curious. This is Brandon Ivy right here, right? The brother here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Got you. Because this dude right here, he does some big things in crypto. And you're right, he is working hard. So we're gonna have to reach out. You know what? Let's reach out and let's get another crypto conversation going and get the both of you on the show.
Yeah, that would be great. I didn't even think about that until just a little while ago. But yeah, Brandon would be tremendous to have on your show. Talk about somebody that's dedicated to their craft. I don't even know how he has that type of energy. I mean, he already made 6-7 figures in the crypto space, and usually people that do that, they have extra motivation. They're always excited about crypto, and they're always training on
another 6 or 7 figures. Yeah.
And then I realized it's because they just want to position themselves to make sure that they are ready for another 6-7 figure run when crypto starts.
Absolutely. Well, I tell you what, folks, that has been the Crypto Kenny Crypto Wrap Up. And I tell you what, to be a part of the Bitcoin campus, all right, here's something amazing that you get. You get access to the Telegram channel, all right, and that gives you the ability to go ahead and catch all updates. Information that's being shared from leaders is all shared in that space. You can at any point jump in on the Facebook group, which is bitcoincampus.org. You can find that on Facebook. But whenever you want to become a part of it, here's all you do. You come to thetippingpointshow.com, all right? And you click on partners right here, okay? You click on the word partners. Now, as you scroll down, you'll see this big logo that says The Tipping Point Show Bitcoin Campus, all right? And all you have to do is either click that logo, click more information, either or. You click it, and guess what? You can now join the Bitcoin Campus. And with that being said, folks, you're actually paying almost half than what you would normally pay if you join through the Tipping Point. Okay, so you click that, you join, you register, and guess what? You're going to get a plethora of information. And there are plenty of people, myself included, who are going to attest to the fact that being a part of this energy force here, you will make some money. Okay, you will have opportunity to make money in the smallest of ways. Opportunity, even just inviting people, you make money. So with that in mind, folks, again, it has been the Crypto Wrap Up with Crypto Kenny. Thank you, brother, for jumping on today. We appreciate you. We'll see you next time.
I appreciate you, gentlemen.
Brother, before you go, I definitely had a question for you. Wait a minute.
Good stuff. You just went blank, John.
Yeah, John, your phone is muted or something.
The volume, I can hear you a little bit, it seems like, but it just dropped. Now you're on mute.
You're
Definitely.
You're muted.
Can you hear it now?
Yes.
Okay, good. I have a question for you, and it was about the show topic. And definitely I wanted your opinion on the wording. Most men are emotionally attracted to each other, just sexually attracted to women. What do you think when you hear that?
Oh, wow. I think that when you say emotionally attached to each other or one another, I think it has something to do with the logic, reasoning that men stand on that you can appreciate. Because it gets to a point, and I don't want to get too deep into this because I love women, and I'm not in a position right now to debate. I'm not an expert of any means when it comes to relationships or the psychology of men and women. However, I think pertaining to what you're specifically asking me is when you deal with anytime somebody's educated, doesn't matter the level of education, when they meet someone that can relate to them and communicate with them on their level, they get drawn to that person, right? And this doesn't have to deal with just men and women. If I'm a Harvard professor and I want to have an intellectual conversation on science or math or whatever the case may be, if I'm talking to people that don't relate to what I'm saying, the one person that does, I'm going to want to talk to them the whole night. So I think when it comes to what you're saying, men get to a point with women when the emotions become too broad for us to deal with, we kind of shy away from that because the logic aspect in our mind gets neutral. So the emotions don't keep going higher. If they do, as men, we are likely to make mistakes. You guys see it with domestic violence. You see it with arguing over different things, unnecessary stress. And it becomes because we're trying to match an emotional standpoint that women have that they don't have necessarily full control over that based on just the way that they're made up. So I think when you say that men are attracted to more men from that standpoint, it just comes from the comfort of conversing with someone that is on the same page as you. There's nothing more frustrating than to speak to someone when you feel like you have an understanding of something and they're completely emotional and tied to that emotion based on the logic. It's almost like if I wanted to talk to you guys about LeBron James and I talk to you guys about the fact that he has 4 rings and he's helped the Boys and Girls Club and he's a billionaire, and I'm bringing to you all these facts and you guys tell me stuff like, well, I don't like the way he talks, or I think Michael Jordan's better because he played with less Hall of Famers. If I start talking to you guys about all the accolades and what I feel like he's doing for the community, and all you keep returning back to me is your opinion, it'll subconsciously frustrate me to the point where I don't even want to have the conversation. So, whenever you
don't talk to your woman about LeBron James. That's the problem. Hey, but you know what? Well, you're giving a different perspective, which is deep. Because honestly, it's a perspective that I didn't think of. Because hearing this statement, it definitely it can trigger a different thought, because this is something that has been going around on social media. Women have been posting it and talking about rah, yeah. But when I first look at it, the first thing I said is this comes from a hurt space from some woman. she's mad because her dude is not giving her the attention that she would like. But you give a perspective of it that's different. So I absolutely appreciate that. Nonetheless.
Just to wrap up, just to kind of summarize what I said. Even though as men or women, we would like to have certain conversations intellectually that stimulate us and kind of bring us together, we're designed by nature to you know, to be attracted to the opposite sex. So there is a time where if you can understand what a woman brings to you in a relationship and how it balances you out, you can appreciate, you know, the things that she offers, and you could kind of know what to look for from her to uplift you, and what to kind of make sure you monitor or mitigate so it doesn't hurt the relationship. Far too often we're looking for our spouse to do something that we want them to do, not necessarily something that they're just designed to do or that they want to do. So if we pay attention to those things, we can coexist in a lot better place. I think that right now in society, we're getting pushed further and further apart because of confusion of what a man and a woman is supposed to do when they come together is being misconstrued.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. Y'all heard it first right here from the Crypto Kenny himself from BitcoinCampus.org. And read the little fine print that says these views may not be a part of the Bitcoin Campus. All right. So with that being said, hey, Baron, thank you, brother.
Yeah, I love you, brothers, man. I appreciate all the wisdom you're bringing to the marketplace, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys at the top of the mountain. Definitely, too much value here.
Hey,
you know,
and I'm gonna hold you to that because you know we having some national conversations right now. So you know we're gonna need some.
What do you mean? I'm gonna hold you to that when you guys blow up. You know, don't try and start.
Hey, we bringing you with us.
You know?
We're bringing you with us.
I'm coming with y'all. There ain't nothing y'all can do about it. You know.
All right, bro. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you too as well.
Peace.
All right, man. That was Crypto Kenny. And so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to keep this going because we just so happen. And I can't wait till our sis gets here because we're going to ask her the question too. Tell us what she thinks when she sees this. So that's going to be dope too. But without further ado, we're going to have Leonard Walker come up with the stock spotlight. But first, folks, I just need a minute to pay some bills. We'll be right back. It is the Tipping Point Show.
Hey folks, check out healthdaddywoww.net. 100% plant-based herbs and supplements. Whether you're in person or online, use the word tipping for 10% off. Remember, feel better, look great, healthdaddywoww.net. Remember, healthdaddywoww.net.
Habibi Trading Company, home of soap sticks and Saya Baba products. Over 400 locations at a store near you. Cincinnati, Ohio, Louisville and Lexington, Kentucky, Southern Indiana, or find yours online at sayababa.com. Again, that's sayababa.com. Habibi Trading Company, where you can find fragrances to incite your senses.
Thank you, Truth Be Told, for allowing God's Lives Matter to be a sponsor. Wearable products, as the purple t-shirt, is bearing witness. Every life created by God has infinite value. Visit God'sLivesMatter.com.
Folks, we are back right here with the Tipping Point Show. And without further ado, We want to bring up our other brother from another mother, brother Leonard Walker with the Stock Spotlight family. What's going on?
Peace, my brothers. Peace, peace, peace. Like I said, is
He's just
right
so
now.
cool.
Right. Hey, I'm outside. Like, hey, I'm greeting the sun, like I've been doing. Just right quick, a quick note. I have not turned my television on since the last time we talked, which was last Sunday. Not this Sunday past, but the Sunday. So we're going on 2 weeks without me turning on my TV on. And you know, I might go places and the television is on, but in my house that I stay mostly, no TV. You know, just getting stuff done, working on things, looking at documentaries, reading different stuff, articles about finance, about money, looking over my finances, trying to figure out how can I save some money, how can I cut this, how can I cut that. See, so yeah, you know, no unproductive time, no distractions, just everything, just filling my head with knowledge, that sort of thing. Don't know how long I'm gonna go because eventually I'm gonna, you know, watch some TV. Today is date day with me and my wife. We're gonna go see Nope and have some dinner because that's important too, even in a recession. See, so like I said, and without further ado, let's get into it. Brother Diego talked about something a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if anybody caught it, but he was talking about dollar cost averaging. Okay, dollar cost averaging when you are investing. What is that and why is it important right now? What this is going to lead to is 4 stocks that you can get that I'm going to present. They pay you monthly that we can dollar cost average and start to gain some monthly revenue from these stocks. So, but let's talk about dollar cost averaging, why it's important. Right now, as we know, if anybody is into the stock market is into free fall. Okay. A lot of our popular stocks here, a lot of our, you know, there's some stocks doing really well, some stocks not doing so well. The tech sector is getting crushed. Communication sectors are getting crushed. You know, mostly all of the more popular things are down right now. That's good. We're in a bear market. Okay. So in a bear market,
they're on sale right now.
Oh yeah, they're on sale. Exactly. Discounted. So in a bear market, you know, you have to look at, all right, so should I invest now? Absolutely, you should invest. But there's a strategy for how you should invest. Typically in a bull market, you know, right at the beginning of a bull run or whatever, if you start to see that, you want to lump sum invest, meaning you want to take $5,000 or $10,000 and buy a bunch of stock that you know is going to grow, that you know is going to, you know, continue to rise, right? So that you can sell it for the best price. In a bear market, you want to dollar cost average. So what is dollar cost averaging? Okay, that's essentially setting up a schedule, just like your savings plan. All right. Remember, we talked about the 3 places you want to put your money in the bank and for what reasons you want to put them there. Let's just say we've got all of that set up. Okay. And now we're ready to go ahead and start investing. But, you know, we got inflation going on. Our dollars don't go as far. And we want to still invest, but we only want to invest what we can kind of afford. Well, that's where dollar cost averaging comes in. So instead of, you know, putting that $100 per month or that $100 every 2 weeks when you get paid into your savings account, what you do is you take that and buy these 4 stocks. Okay. You know, so you take those and buy, you know, a combination of these 4 stocks that I'm going to talk about, or a combination of any other stocks that are paying dividends. All right. Over time, what is that going to do? Over time, what will happen is in a bear market, we don't know how far the market is going to fall, but every time you buy something for less, the average, especially if you buy more stocks for less or at a discount, the average ends up to where you've paid less for these stocks rather than more. If you were to lump sum, okay, and buy $5,000, $10,000 worth of something and it goes down, now you just lost a whole lot of money. Okay. Now, they come back up, but you don't, that kind of scares people often, right? So dollar cost averaging. So what you want to do, like I said, is it's pretty simple. Is instead of taking this money and putting it in your savings account, figure out 4 stocks that you want, or 3 stocks, or 2 stocks, or however many that you want to go ahead and buy during this time. And if you continue to do that over time, like I say, you've bought these stocks for a lesser amount, right? And they pay dividends, they're paying you dividends. Okay. So now you're building up your dividend per month. And the ones that I'm gonna talk about are monthly dividends. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. The first one the first stock we're gonna talk about is called Global X NASDAQ 100 Cover Call ETF. All right. All of the stocks that I'm getting ready to present to you, they do what you call a cover call strategy, right? Which is calls and puts and options. I'm not going to get into that. That's a little bit complicated right now, but we're just going to know that there are ETFs that can simplify the process of doing calls and options and all of this kind and puts and all of this kind of stuff. So Global X NASDAQ 100 Cover Call ETF. All right. Ticker symbol is QYLD. QYLD. Friday, its share price. Its share price as of Friday when the market closed was $18.18. Again, I'm trying my best to keep these stocks under $50, right, per share. Dividends per share, it pays $2.21 per share. It pays 18 cents monthly. This is a monthly stock. So toward the beginning or the end of the month, you'll see something that'll tell you, hey, here's the X date for this particular stock right here. And next thing you know, something will hit your either your bank account or you'll get a dividend payment in your stock portfolio. So that's a good one. Its yield is 12.18%. 52-week high. 52-week high is $23.15. The 52-week low is $16.65. So here's the thing with these types of stocks. All right, this is not a growth stock. All right, this is not something that you want to see grow and then sell. This is something you want to hold on to and buy more of so that you can continuously get those monthly dividends. Okay, and build it up to where, next thing you know, you get, $500 a month, $1,000 a month, $2,000. Like I say, even if you were to get $250 a month off of dividend stocks, with the way gas prices are, that's gas, that's an extra bill, that's passive income that can help you during this time of inflation and ongoing prices and all kinds of stuff. So these stocks are relatively new. This is the oldest one, and it was founded in 2013. All right. So let's move on to the next one. The next one is called the Nationwide NASDAQ 100 Risk Management ETF, or it goes by the sticker symbol NUSI or NUSI. All right, NUSI as what they call it. Share price right now is $19.64. The dividend per share is $2.06. It pays a monthly dividend of about 13 cents. Okay. And again, these are monthly dividends. That doesn't sound like a lot, but these steep, cheap stock prices, before you know it, especially as you start to gain more and you get, like I said, once your dividends start to overtake your savings, what you're putting in savings, now you can start taking those dividends and start buying more stocks with them. This is called compounding interest. All right. The ROI that you get, return on your interest, if you can take that and start buying more stocks, now you're playing with house money. Okay. So that's ultimately where you want to get so that you can get to where you want to be when it comes. Still, you can still dollar cost average and you can compound your return at the same time. So let's get back to NUSI. The dividend yield is 10 point. You're looking at 10.49%. The high 52-week high was $29.46. The low was $18.78. So once again, these stocks are coming in around the low end, okay, of the range by which these stocks are trading. Okay, the prices at which they trade. And again, you're not going to see a whole lot of fluctuation, all right, because this is not a growth stock. This is something to hold on to get you some money extra month and to continue to pay into that so you can have that passive income coming. All righty. Next stock we're talking about is one called RYLD, or the Global X Russell's 2000 Cover Call ETF. Okay, the Russell's 2000. Russell's 2000 is just another index, kind of like the S&P 500 or some of the other ones that you hear out there. So this one is trading at $20.92 per share. Okay, dividend share is $2.63. You get a monthly dividend of 21 cents, and the yield on this one is 12.61% yield. 52-week high, or I'm sorry, 52-week high is $25.82. The low is $19.51. So again, here's another one. It's at its low end, but you could get at a discount, right? Same thing. I'm going to repeat this the same time. This is not a stock you sell. This is a stock you hold on to and let it get you money, because that's what it was designed to do. It's for you to hold on, to keep investing, to recycle all of your investments back into this stock so that you can continue to get these dividends. All right. The last one that I'm going to talk about is called the JP Morgan Equity Premium Income ETF. All right, or JEPI, JEPI, JEPI is what it's called. All right, this one is a little bit more expensive. This one is its share price is $56.20. But it goes for almost $5 per share dividends. So you're looking at $4.95. Okay, it pays a monthly dividend, monthly again, of 62 cents per share, and has an 8.82% dividend yield. Okay, 52-week high, $63.67. 52-week low is $51.95. This is JP Morgan. JP Morgan was one of the largest banks and oldest banks in the United States. So if they're doing some things and you got a fund manager within JP Morgan doing some stuff with cover call options, I would trust it. Okay, because like I said, again, this pays you, and I've already gotten paid dividend payments on these. And like I said, is they're paying pretty good. You fool around, first you start out with about maybe $30, $40, $50 a month. Next thing you know, you're up to 100. Next thing you know, you're up to 500. Next thing you know, you're up to $2,000 a month. All right, if you just keep your strategy. And again, this conversation that I like to have is for younger people. When I was in my 20s, in my 30s, these types of opportunities were not available. I had to jump through hoops and figure out all types of stuff to be able to go and trade some stocks. So like I said, is now with all of these apps and different devices and platforms that people have to invest, there is just absolutely no excuse or no reason why you should not be investing unless, okay, you're running into some rough times, because rough times are coming up. And obviously, you want to be able to invest what you afford. You got to prioritize. So again, these are the four stocks. These are four popular. There are about 15 of them that you can look up, and they will pay you per month. So like I said, is with these are the top four most popular ones that most people that are doing this strategy are invested in. And again, start young, start early, get your strategy, stick with it.
Give me that last ticker symbol real quick.
JEPI, JEPI.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
JEPI, JEPI. Yep. And like I said, the assets that these stocks hold, these guys, they hold Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Tesla, Google, Meta, which is Facebook, Pepsi, Nvidia. In the medical field, I got, United Healthcare, AbbVie, Biohaven, Shockwave Medical, and then they also invest in they also own some assets in with in indexes like the S&P 500, Vanguard, Nasdaq call and puts. So like I said, these are stocks or ETFs that have allocations of more popular stocks. A lot of people say, I'm gonna go and buy some Apple for, whatever it is, or some Amazon that just split, which is good. Some Google, some of the stuff is, $2,000 and $3,000 and $4,000 per share. You can buy these right here for less than $50, and they pay you to hold them. Most tech stocks do not pay you to hold them. These just happen to pay you to hold them. So that's my time for this week. Yeah, that's my time for this week.
And before you go, we got to ask you this question. I want you to take a look at this here. This is, let's see here. Do I have it uploaded right here? Bam.
Yep.
Are most men emotionally attracted to men, just sexually attracted to women? This is something that's been going around on social media here lately. Different women posting it, and so as we show that to you, what's your thoughts when you just look at this statement? Are most men emotionally attracted to women, just sexually attracted, or are most men emotionally attracted to men, just sexually attracted to women? Just hearing that statement, what's the first thoughts that come to mind?
Okay, so with me, being that I've been married 20 plus years on my second marriage, right? Are most men attracted to other men emotionally? What I will say in that statement is iron sharpens iron. Just like, I'm talking to you brothers and other brothers, okay? Iron sharpens iron. So we vibe, and we, get more information, and we make each other better, and we prop each other up, that sort of thing. Is that emotional attraction? You could say it is, all right, in a way. It doesn't mean that, I got love for this brother because, hey, when I get with him, we have a good time. We do this, we do that. We chop it up. We have productive conversation and encounters with each other. So yes, emotionally, hey, somebody that you don't like, or you ain't feeling, or you ain't vibing with, you're going to stay away from that person, right? But here's the thing, is we also have that type of energy for women as well. All right. I got a wife that I've been married to for 21 years now. Getting ready, going 21 years. So how can I not be emotionally invested in my woman? Right. So yes. Okay. Making her happy, her doing things to make me happy. All right. Getting up in the morning, greeting her with a smile and a kiss, before she leaves. I love you. These types of things, so like I said, is I think it goes both ways. I don't think that's a truly fair statement. And like you said earlier, that comes from a place of hurt. All you want me for is sex, from a woman. You don't want to, you don't care about my feelings. You don't care about this. That's not most guys. Okay. And
I think that's a dangerous space. A lot of times that's a dangerous space because with social media, things can blow up quick, and
right.
and you end up teaching, showing, or showcasing to multitudes of people. And with statements like that, when someone makes a statement from a place of hurt, then it gets out there, it gets viral, and next thing you know, we have a new thing that someone is trying to navigate through. In this case, something else that men are trying to navigate through, to be like, look, that's my guy, that's my homie. When me and John get together, John and I vibe well when it comes to this show and everything, and we have conversations outside of this. I don't walk up to every brother that I see and just start talking to him like I talk to John. You know what I mean? Or start talking to him like I talk to Brother Leonard Walker. You know what I mean? It just doesn't happen. So somehow or another we vibe. But I think with this statement, looking at it, seeming like it comes from a place of hurt, it had a different connotation to it. in its original form. And that's the dangerous part, because when somebody is speaking to multitudes of people from a place of hurt, then you teach the masses some illegitimate, bullshit.
Right.
Whether that's a man or a woman that's spewing
Right.
the bullshit.
Right. And here's something else to think about too, right? Is if, and this applies to men and women, okay? If all of your relationships are dysfunctional, or you can't, find any type of satisfaction in any of your relationships, okay, and you've been in many, many relationships, you have to start looking at the common denominator, which is you.
Man.
Right? So if you out here spewing hurt, I ain't found no man, I ain't found no woman, F all of these, so-and-sos and such, and I can't, see, so if it becomes that, so you ain't found no happiness, then maybe you need to look in the wrong place first. You need to look at yourself to figure out what is it about you that either is attracting dysfunctional people or people in these type of, are you saying no to the right people, or are you just looking at stuff and saying, you know what, nah, I'm not ready for that yet, or is it some things I need to get myself together with? See, so you got to look at that as well, and that's where that place of hurt comes in. I believe, talking about, hey,
you see this comment right here, Leonard says, it is time to question why a woman attracted that type of man that she has to question on that subject. It's old now, ladies. Question yourself, not the man. And that goes both ways, just like you said, Leonard. When the common denominator is the same, when we talk mathematics, if we've got problems here, problems there, and the common denominator is the same, then the problem may be that common denominator, and you have to reevaluate that common denominator. And the problem with most people is, as John has spoken about before, people are afraid to do the work, meaning like shadow work, meaning like you look at yourself and you say, hey, let's look in the mirror and figure out what it is that I'm doing to attract this person or these type of people. When I sit there and I look at women who continually find themselves in the space with men who put their hands on them, in a wrong way, right? And I look at that, and you have to begin to look at yourself, because it's not that every guy out here does that. And then when one comes along, let me tell you the difference. The one that came along that doesn't do that, he had the opportunity to bounce as soon as he saw those flaws in that woman, which was the issue that continued to attract those type of men many times before. He had but if in fact he decided otherwise and said, you know what, I can be here for this, and I can show her a different way. Right. That's an opportunity for her more so than him, and vice versa if it's man versus woman. But understand something. He understands that the common denominator, it may not have been those other guys that were putting that, she pushed them to the limit. She pushed those buttons. She opened that mouth and kept blah, blah, blah. And then the lack of emotional intelligence in the past guys was different. You know what I mean? So then after a while, they said, I can't take it no more. Wop, 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 wop.
or like I said, is there's something about these particular guys that she may be attracted to.
I know some women
or a man. Same thing with a man. I knew guys,
their attraction.
Right. The same thing with a man. Man, you always are picking these women that do this or cheat or so and so. Bro, what is it? You need to look at you. There are other women out there that don't cheat or ain't loud or ain't this or very feminine, very, that would be a good match for you. But you seem to be gravitating toward, what is it about these? So you got to figure that out for yourself. So yeah,
Yeah. And we had this conversation recently, and you were there, Leonard. You saw some of it on my relationship show, No Panties After Dark. And it's a wild name, but our focus is we have a little bit of fun, but our main topic is always something that we want to talk about. We had Miss Moore on there, who is a professional counselor with letters and numbers and stuff like that behind her name, right? So she's a pro
Right.
at this, and she wears that cape every day to work, helping people in some of this space. And we had conversations about the narcissist and all of that stuff, and it was heavy stuff, but we got into this whole thing about accountability. And
Right.
that's the thing, is that it ain't always the other person. When your story is sitting there, them, guess what? You need to go look in the mirror. I can promise you that, because it ain't
Right.
them.
Right.
How did you put yourself in that situation? How did you get yourself in that situation? So, look at these comments. Woo! There's a conversation we just had the other day. When you keep attracting those situations, you got to look into what you are putting out to draw that energy to yourself. It has gotten so out of hand with women and both men questioning each other, yet no one takes the time to question themselves. What is going on inside with yourselves, everyone? Hey, you can attribute a lot of that here lately to the ridiculousness, in my opinion, of the pandemic and how it was handled, keeping everybody apart. Right? We need that energy from each other. That part is called accountability. So when people start taking accountability, we won't have these conversations, because the conversations are very old now. LOL. It's time to grow up and be adults and have relationships like mature adults. Absolutely
Right.
agree. And I tell you what, Brother Leonard, we got our sis following up behind you, and she's ready to rock and roll, man. I appreciate you coming on, giving us the stock spotlight and information that you bring. I'm always out with the pad and pen, and I'm sure John is too. Because after the show, it's like, okay, open up my TD Ameritrade account and let me buy that one, and that one. You know what I mean? I mean, you might as well. You're talking
There you
$20
go.
for some of these. I mean, it's ridiculous. You might as well go ahead and spend some $20 a few times over, and at least buy you one of each of these stocks, man. And I try to keep a list, because I'm going back and looking at stuff from last week and the week before and all of that. So appreciate you, Brother Leonard. Until next time, next week, same place. Peace, bro.
Peace.
All right, man. Hey, things are formulating in your head, man. You got.
Can you hear me good?
It's very, very low. I don't know what happened.
Let me see something here. How about now?
Very, very low. They're saying
Very
that
low.
they can't.
Let me.
Okay, it's muted now.
Got better.
There you go.
All right, let me keep it 30. And I'm having technical difficulties on this mic here, so we'll work with that. All right.
It's all good. But yeah, man, yeah, this is an interesting conversation. So we're gonna keep it going. Up next, we have our financing in 5 minutes with our sis from another mother, Heather, Lady Brazilianaire. Welcome once again to the Tipping Point Morning Show, sis. We appreciate you. How you doing?
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
We are
Awesome.
Absolutely fantastic.
Awesome. Well, I'm back in Kentucky. Last time you saw me, I was in Texas. I'm back in Kentucky. I'll be gone again.
Yeah. You was out in Texas, and in Texas, they like everything big. And
Of
you
course.
were not shying away from that at all. Absolutely. Big
Always.
Texas out there. That's
Always.
what's up.
So today's financial tip I have for you is start an envelope effect. Okay. This is something that I learned as a kid, and I'm starting to show my children. So as you see here, I have different envelopes. Okay. Different envelopes. So if you are a person that has trouble budgeting your money, because when we talked about that with your ledger book a couple of weeks ago, right? So if you are having problems putting away money, get an envelope out, write on it what needs to be put in this envelope, and hold yourself accountable. Isn't that funny? We're talking about that today. And put this away. This is a way that you can show yourself how to be disciplined. Okay.
Now, when you say that, are you saying like right on their
Yes.
car savings
Yes,
or
yes.
okay, so just title that envelope.
Envelopes around because my envelopes got big stuff on it. But prime example, I have to pay my children's tuition. Envelope, okay? Lease, mortgage payment, whatever. If you owe a bill or somewhat, write on it what bill you owe. It could be a credit card bill or what have you. Write it on here, put some money in it, okay? The envelope effect. This will hold you accountable and also show you how to be disciplined with your money. If you have a problem saving money and it burns a hole in your pocket, start the envelope effect. Put the money in there, even if it is $5 a day, $10 a week, or what have you. If you're looking to build up your retirement account and you don't know if you should go to Fidelity or if you should go to Charles Schwab or if you should go to here, and you're afraid to put your money in the bank because some people don't like that, start the envelope effect. Now, here's what I do recommend that you get. Get some kind of fireproof box or some kind of safety box that you can keep in your house. Put this envelope back in that box. Do not touch it. You always hear me talk about an emergency fund. You need to have some kind of asset, some liquidation, some cash that you can get to quick. Put it in your envelope and then put it back in your safe. So today, that is my tip, my financial tip. Start the envelope effect.
Absolutely, absolutely. We appreciate that. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and play security right now. Just so y'all know, Lady Brazilianaire lives on another planet. So you can't even get to her. So don't try to go visit her and check out her envelope effects at all. All right? She's on another planet. You don't even know.
Oh,
with
and
that being said, go ahead.
That's the screenshot that I sent you about that stock.
Yes.
That stock is actually up 325% now. So
wow. I was impressed. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's what's up, man. We appreciate you.
And how long you had that stock?
You know what? I've had it for a week.
Okay. Wow.
I've had it for a week. So yes, I got to go tell Brother Leonard about that stock.
He's listening.
He's listening.
And the stock it's a $ XELA. So I guess it's XLEA. I think that's how you pronounce it. Not for sure, but it's up 325%. And I bought it when it was 14 cents.
Hey, you muted, brother.
Say XELA. Hold on.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I do believe it's a tech stock. Okay. I bought it when it was 14 cents. I bought 49 shares, of course. Mm-hmm. And it just keeps going. And pretty much, Brother Leonard, I think it's going to be very close to the GameStop situation. That's what I'm predicting.
Now, what about the BLT? I mean, the TBLT.
That's up too. The last time I checked, it was up, I think 75%. But I will double check and I'll send you the information.
Okay. Yeah.
And I've had
Excellent Technologies. Yeah. Oh, it's 15 cents. Let me see something here.
Yeah, that's awesome. I was impressed and definitely going to look into that.
15 cents for a growth stock is pretty good. If it goes up to $1 or $5, you know, that see, and like you said, I typically don't do growth stocks, but stuff like this I mean, this is as good as crypto, right?
You know, yeah. It is good. As that's it. That's the way to go.
And like I said, Brother Leonard, I bought 49 of those.
Wow. Yeah, wow.
For 14, let me see, 15, 14, that's like $5. See, so oh yeah, I'm looking. So yeah, I'm checking them out.
Go ahead, buy 1,000 shares. That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, hey, we appreciate that space right there. More and more tips coming at you. Plenty. And you know what? Before you go, sis, we want to ask you what you think about this particular. I know you've been seeing us talk about it, but this particular are most men emotionally attracted to men, just sexually attracted to women? What do you think about that when you first see that? When you first hear that, what do you think?
I'm gonna say yes.
Okay.
And I say it with ease because now with everything changing, everybody's mindset changing. for some strange reason, and I have even been told this, you're too much. So the man would rather go and sit with his buddies all day or converse with his buddies all day. And so I asked one of my male colleagues, one of my good friends, I said, what does he mean when he says I'm too much? Why is he always emotionally with them and just, with me for something else? He said, Heather, you have to tone down your masculinity. And I said, what does that mean? He said, when he says you're too much, you act more like a homeboy. And I said, huh? He said, you got to soften up some. You're so busy being the boss. He don't want that. So he goes and chills with his buddies. You got to have your feminine side come out. I said, so I can't cuss. He said, yeah, you can, but not so much. So yes, that is what they mean. They're more involved, in tune with their buddies, and they just come to you because they're not going to do that to their buddies. Well, we hope not. So yes, I've had that. Yes, and it is true. Nowadays, because women, we have been placed on the front line, and now we are the workers, we are the doers, we are the providers. A lot of men, they don't want you to do that. They want to feel needed, not only wanted but needed.
And I wouldn't say that they don't want you to do that. I would just say that there is, it goes back to what John says a lot when he uses the word alignment. And I think, when you find the right person, you find someone that is in alignment with you.
True.
More so than, there's a concern when we start talking about, women being submissive and things of that nature. I was talking on a family member's post about that recently, women being submissive and stuff like that. And I was like, man, stop using that word. Submissive is such a terrible word when you really think about it. And then you got to understand context. If we're talking things in the Bible that are, and you want to denote it as real, okay, well, guess what? Paul writing letters to the church of Corinth and this, that, and the other, those were all his opinions. So stop sitting there taking one person's opinions and then utilizing it for your life today. One person's opinion is supposedly 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, and then utilizing it for your life today. It doesn't make sense with that in mind. I like alignment. So, you could be a boss woman, but I will say there is a gray line of understanding how to turn it off.
Yes.
And that's what turn it off when you get home and allow that man to lead as he's supposed to. But then again, there's the question of, well, if he ain't stepping up to the plate, if he, should he be out there to where she wants to just, lay back and allow him to, or is there an issue with him as to why she can't humble herself to him enough to, or humble herself enough to allow him to lead? You know what I mean? I mean, there's questions there. Sounds like therapy. I don't know.
what I say behind that is, and what I've had to do, put yourself in those rooms. So if you want, or if you are looking for a man who is on the same level as you, or a woman, then put yourself in those rooms. You only attract where you go. Prime example. And I know this place is gone, but like certain nightclubs and bars, I don't want that. So I'm not going to go there. I'm going to go to real estate events. I'm going to go to, corporate events, things of that nature, those places, cigar lounges. That's where I'm going to go. Because men who I'm looking for are on my level or on my statue, they're going to be at those places.
And why that little piece right there where you say, well, the woman's got to bring down her light because he's coming home. then she's got the wrong man. She should never have to dumb down her ability to be a boss woman because her man is coming home. Oh, let him do. No, she needs to understand. Both need to understand. She needs to pick one that knows how to handle that type of situation.
There you go.
She shouldn't have to quiet down or whatever. She needs the one that accepts her full bloom. Because it sounds like you're depressing, you're oppressing, you are bringing down yourself. Because here we come, I better, you know. And I think that's the piece. Like, we're attracted to what we are.
Yeah.
And so therefore, the woman that's a boss woman that has a man that's intimidated by the boss woman, she has the wrong man.
Yeah.
There's a man that's not intimidated. That one is the one that you want, because then you won't feel so lacking in your humanity, in yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Now that I wholeheartedly agree with. I was also told that I was raised to be an independent woman and not a wife. Excuse me? I said no.
As if an independent woman can't be a wife.
Right. I said no. I said, no, that doesn't make sense. And I completely ignored that comment. No.
Hey, well, I tell you what, thank you so much for coming in with the 5 minutes financing tip, as well as commenting on this particular subject and, giving us your 2, 3, 4 cents, 6 cents there. Because you're a boss. You gave us extra.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you, sis.
You are very welcome. See you all later.
Peace.
Right. Peace. Man, so that it's interesting. Again, there's all these different, parameters and thought processes where people would say, hey, she needs to tone it down. They'll say, hey, she needs to learn how to be a lady. She need, all these different things. And I think the right people together will learn to love each other for who they are. Am I right? Are we moving in the right direction?
Exactly.
Learn to love people for who they are.
Yep.
And allow them to be them. And like you said, the right man will have the ability to navigate, and each other will be able to navigate within that relationship properly. There won't be issues. This topic that we're talking about, that won't be a topic that they're questioning in their relationship, because they're in alignment with each other and they're navigating the relationship properly, because they, again, going back to them being in alignment with each other. People have agreements a lot of times, women, the woman works, man stays home with the child, because of her skill and expertise in the marketplace. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, but I think society is still stuck on 2,000 years of stupid. What you think?
Well, I would start it like this, and I think we are at a real big change in relationships and our character as men and women, and this is the issue. So I give you an example. This is why we use the word yin and yang. Now, if you look at a yin and yang symbol, they're both actually equal. They're not one bigger than the other. It is just perfectly round, and they're both equal, but they both bring something different to the table. If you notice this, I'm just using the symbol. One end is fatter on the right side, and the bottom on top, that is fatter on the right side, and the left side is smaller and it gets big at the bottom. What is it saying? They're not competing against each other. That makes sense. And this is how it flows very evenly, by having one that's equally yoked with who you are and the way you are. In today's society, it's a little bit different than it was back when I was growing up. Now you got a lot of things that play a role with character, meaning things we watch on TV, the stuff that you get from movies, or what relationship you think what relationship should be. A lot of women think relationships should be what they see on television, and so we got this confusion of what we think it should be like, and not going back to the original setting. And what do I mean when I say the original setting? So let's look at this yin and yang, sort of. So now I'm gonna put it out like this. When that wording is used, most men are emotional. Let's stop right there. Let's look at that word. Let's analyze that word, emotion, right? Emotionally, right? Emotion is a feminine word. Why do I say that? Because women are driven by emotion. Men are driven by ego. It doesn't mean men don't have emotion. Doesn't mean women don't have ego. What that means is women have more emotion than men. The problem is when you women assume we supposed to act like you act in your emotion. Doesn't work that way. You see, so it is like when you look at nature. Let me say this. Men are competitive. If the wording was men are competitively attractive to each other, now you got me. Now, boom, there you go. But when that came from a female who's already toxic in her relationships with men, whether she don't like men, whether she never had a father, whether she'll never understand men, she will inject that word emotionally attracted. Now that right there is feminizing men grouping. Men getting together, men having discussions, right? And right, there are discussions amongst men he can't have with his wife. He needs a boy. He needs somebody to come to. He needs an elder man to come to and talk to. This has always been the rites of passage for young boys coming up into men. What do? Men will take the boy from his mama. You go into a dojo or go into a boxing ring and see the training. See if the woman's there, she's emotional. She don't want to see him get hit. The father's like, no, you go get your ass kicked. No, learn how to fight. See, there's a difference. Women are told, get out the room when it comes to sons. You don't belong in the room, right? Because you're emotional. Men are not. It is the same between the relationship of a man and a father. When a man takes his boy out to teach him, you don't need to be around. It's just that simple. No, because when you inject, let me give you another example. Let's say we playing ball. Men play ball. We're competitive. Elbowing, we do what we got to do to get the shot. Football the same way. We'll pound your ass, right? In football, we'll pound each other. Let's put a drop of a woman in there. Let's just drop that woman in the game. Then the whole game changes. He can't be as rough on her as he got the dudes. He can't
touch football.
He cannot really bring out his true ability of challenging because there's a woman there. So therefore he has to do what? He has to bring himself down. So he don't want to play ball. If it's a bunch of women, if it's a woman in the game, he don't want to play because we are naturally competitive. And that's the piece. And so when a woman takes that piece and says, well, he talks to his guy and don't talk to me. Listen, the way I grew up, when men have counsel, war counsel, I don't care what it is, whether it is was rites of passage, women are not in the present. It doesn't mean nothing, but it's not, no emotion is there. Ego's there. It's the ego amongst men. It is like this. If you look at nature, and I love this particular species of birds, the male birds will follow the female bird around when she's in season. He will follow her around. They will follow her around because they all want some. Man, they want her, right? So when she goes to a tree, she'll sit in the tree. All the male birds will follow her and go right to that tree. She'll leave that tree. What she told them was that this is the tree I want my home. All the male birds then go get the twigs, the leaves, and everything, and they're going to build a nest. A lot of little nests is going to be built in that tree. When she comes back and she's going to shake every nest. She wants the nest looking beautiful. She wants the nest nice size. She's going to go in the nest, come out the nest, shake it. The one she goes in the nest and stays, the male birds are all watching. What? He's getting ready to mate with her. What is she saying with that little bird brain? She said, I ain't laying down with you until you compete with other men to get mine, right? Look at the lion world. Lion world's the same way. A lioness is not going to lay down with a lion unless he goes on the hill and fight all the male lions. And check this out. When a lion or a deer or animal smells the female in season, guess what it do? It creates aggressiveness in him. Not against her. It creates aggressiveness for him to go find a male to fight. You know, a deer can smell a female deer. Do you know the other male deer didn't smell her? So he ain't got that testosterone stuff building. That male deer is going to go find him a male deer to fight. He don't care which male deer it is. He going to fight somebody to get his. And this is nature. Men have lost it because somehow we've been feminized in so many ways. And women, yes, your masculinity has stepped up to the point to where you're feminizing men. When men come together and you use that word emotion, what you're doing, you're feminizing the meaning of men. You're viewing it the way you view it. Yes, men have things they can talk about they can't talk to their wives about. There are women talking about things that you can't talk to your husband about. You think we want to hear about your period sessions and what you go through when you own? No, go talk to your woman about that. And what's very interesting, if you put women in the same room together and one come on their period and they're living together, all of them come on, they all come in sync together. What does that mean? It means y'all different than us. We're not the same. So you shouldn't try to view your emotions and attach it to us and say, this is the way we should think and this is the way we should be, because we're not emotional. We are ego driven. And once you understand that piece, then maybe you can understand how men are. No, that is a toxic word by saying men are emotionally attracted to each other. No, men are attracted to each other for ego reasons, for reasons of competitiveness, to learn how to be a better man. So when you see brothers together, don't feminize it and make it a female thing. No, sometimes he can't talk to you about things. I remember my father handling, you remember back in the day, there used to be a thing called skeleton keys. You ever seen those keys? Some of those keys will fit the same door, right? And we were living in the projects, and apparently a burglar came in with his skeleton key and it fit our door. He came in. Well, my father handled it. We didn't know nothing about it. Everybody in the family was asleep. My father didn't tell my mother until he moved us out the house and bought us a home. Then he told her. Why didn't he tell her? Because she would have emotionally panicked and wouldn't want to live there no more. That's why there are certain things, women, you need to be out the room, and men need to understand that. You can't be in every room with the man, and it shouldn't be nothing wrong with that. It shouldn't be nothing wrong with men grouping together for their purpose of learning how to be a man without it being feminized by some sister that's toxic. That makes sense? So that piece right there, we need to understand. And men, and I tell you this, no man will call a man meeting emotional. No man will say, hey, I'm emotional. Doesn't mean he doesn't have emotion. But men are taught to never show emotion. I don't care if you're in the service. I don't care if it's time for war. What man wants to go to war with a man that's emotion? Show me a man that said, man, I'm getting ready to go to war. Let me choose the weakest man, the one that's always fucking crying. You know, that one, the one that was raised by his mother, and every time he gets touched and hit, he cries. That one there, that ain't the one I want to go to war with. Yeah. Right? I don't want to choose that one. I want to choose the man that's ego driven, the one that's ready to challenge another man to the death. That piece. So my point is that the whole thing is that some women need to be educated on the level of what men are naturally to understand this. This is why naturally we are competitive. This is why we compete against each other. It's not emotion. It's an ego thing. And once we understand the difference of the two, you understand that our ego is brought down by your feminine. Your feminine will bring our ego down because we don't want to compete against you. We need to compete against other men, but somehow they're twisted. Something has been twisted. A lot of you women allow yourself to have male friends who are gay. And you listen to them about men, thinking that they can tell you about a man. Well, guess what, baby? They're competing against you. They're not competing against a man. This is why these feminine men go inside your sports to compete against you, because somehow they got twisted and turned around and they don't want to compete against a man, which is their nature. So in turn, guess what they do? They get in your arena and they compete. See, that's your fault, women, for accepting that behavior in your space anyway. Right? He's competing against you. He's trying to snap his fingers and turn his neck. He's trying to be you, but you don't see that.
Hey, but then they're mad now because he done tried to be her so much that now he's competing in sports with him and everything else.
Exactly. When he doesn't belong.
LeBron James with a wig going and scoring 800 points in the WNBA.
Right. You see, so that's the piece. Men are feminized, and you're helping him feminize him more by using these terms. Right. And I say most of the women are feminized. Most of the men that are kind of feminized, they was raised by women. They weren't raised by men unless they were molested by men and very confused. But men have a competitive thing against men. And it's supposed to be that way. It is innate. It is natural. It's not supposed to be changed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a situation to where, and I think that you know, most maybe I'm saying quality men understand emotional intelligence. They understand the ability to govern their emotions, you know, properly. So, you know, is there ever a time for a man to cry?
Absolutely.
Sure.
Absolutely. No, crying is a part of releasing toxins. Absolutely, there are going to be times, but not all the goddamn time. I mean, you know, at some point, your woman don't want to see you coming home crying. Yeah. She wants somebody's shoulders to lay on when she cries, right? So you got to, sometimes it's okay to cry. There's nothing wrong with that. But too much of it is something's wrong with your ass crying. Every time they took your check or you didn't get paid, or you gonna cry about it? You know, no, come on now. Man,
if so, you got to stop drinking the soy milk, you know.
Right. Don't get hit. And this is in martial arts, in any dojo. See it, you'll see boys competing against each other. No, get your ass back in that ring and do it again. Ain't no going in that corner crying. That's why mamas can't be allowed in there, because they say, I don't want to see my son hit. No, you need to go home.
Yeah.
You need to go home because he needs to learn this character of holding that and this character of building so that he can learn how to protect you women. That's his job.
Yep. He's out there to become a soldier.
Come and be a soldier. That's right.
Yep. So, you know, and it's interesting, you know, the perspectives on this, you know, this picture or this statement. Are most men emotionally attracted to men, just sexually attracted to women? You know, sometimes things become viral and whatnot, and it's just like, you know, what the hell? You know what I mean? I don't even understand how some of this stuff becomes so.
Yeah, how do we split that as though the man that is with his wife, somehow there is no emotion there? If you're trying to measure that emotion based on your emotions, we're measuring it wrong. We don't show our emotions. Our emotions is not in that area. And that's the piece women need to understand. You don't expect us to act like you. You're supposed to act like you and allow the man to act like he's supposed to act. And that's why we talked about alignment. If you want a sissy ass man crying all the time, there's one out here for you. Okay, if you want a man to be able to handle your boss, because show me a boss woman want a crying ass man. She doesn't, right? Show me a woman that's a go-getter want a crying ass man. She doesn't, right? So she has to go and get the type of man she wants, or if she get that little whining ass man, she ain't gonna be fucking happy. So, you know, understand that piece there, that you have to be in alignment. And here's another piece. A lot of women who agree with that term, it's because there is something resonating with them that's inside of them, that it is okay to make that statement. And where did that come from is the piece.
Yeah.
Because most men are in rejection when they see the word emotionally attracted. Not attractive because there is some attraction amongst men, and it's ego driven. It is competitively driven. We see a bunch of boys playing ball. We want to get in the game. That's competitiveness. So that's an competitive emotion in me. That's an emotion, but it's a competitive emotion in me that I want to compete with another man. And that is the term of how we survive in this world, to make us better. And it's very interesting. Did you know that when a lion wins the herd after he fights and he impregnates the lioness, guess what happens if that lion gets killed? Well, there's another lion that will have to take his place, and he's going to fight all the other lions. But guess what? When he wins, guess what he does first? he kills all the male cubs. Why is that? Because of competitiveness. He don't want them in his herd. He saves the females, but he kills the males. You see how competitive? You wouldn't understand that, women, because you don't understand what's innate inside of us. The female lions was crying, "Oh no, don't do that." The male lions didn't want competition because they're not his. That's natural, right? So to allow us to be ourselves without you trying to feminize us and make us you. Because when you make us you, then we're competing against your ass. You see?
Absolutely. And Wakefield says it's almost like we are measuring straight men by the behavior and thought of men who are actually attracted to other men. Then there comes complaining from both sexes because of all the confusion of what a man truly is in nature. And you know, and that resonates because as time goes on, you got new generations coming. Well, man, when they begin to learn, you know, what a man is, where are they going to learn it from? Are they learning it from a statement like that that's being put out? Because they didn't get to see the generation of real men that came before, right? You know, they didn't get to see that. So then now as more and more men become effeminate, then, you know, depending upon that circle of that person, as that child grows up, boom, you know.
And here's the logic to it. Right. Here's the logic to it. You women have male friends that are gay, but you wouldn't send your son to help you raise him. I know you wouldn't, right? Nor do you want him as a man. You see? That's the piece right there that you need to know, that's why you look at it as just dysfunctional, right? It's a dysfunctional behavior. And you need to understand that that's dysfunctional and it shouldn't be accepted and praised because you make him more into that. And then he becomes what? You know, he's so feminized, you can't see the masculinity in him anymore. So, you know, you got to understand you're helping to build this mentality amongst men. And so when that statement is made, like Johnny said, we're measuring the man up against this man that was raised by women and has been already feminized. And he's very emotional, crying, you know, over city shit, right? And so now it becomes, all men should feel like that. No, that's incorrect. And I feel sorry for the generation that's coming next after this, because right now we're so confused. And we're so confused in our gender, who we are naturally, that we are turning everything upside down. We really are.
Oh yeah, everything is becoming ass backwards, man, and that is that's the new name of the game is ass backwards America.
Ass backwards. Exactly.
We're living in an ass, and as the Western world spreads its wings across borders, then you know, it's becoming an ass backwards world. So, you know, I tell you, with that being said, man, this has been such a great conversation. I love the financial tips for today.
Sure was
and,
great.
Being able to incorporate this conversation in the mix as well. You know, it's just interesting when we talk about that. So,
Heather said, I don't want no crybaby.
Exactly. So, you know, if you like y'all talk about the boss women, well, guess what? The boss women don't want no crybabies, you know, and nobody's sitting here saying that a man can't have emotions. We're not saying that, but what we're saying is that if you look at that motherfucker and you like, damn, he is a crying baby ass bitch. Well, guess what? That's probably a problem, and need to go put that motherfucker in some karate class. Okay,
right? He can have emotions, but he cannot have emotions equal to women. Nowhere near equal to women. His emotions should be this to her. This,
yeah,
that piece.
I agree. But without further ado, I tell you what. This has been an amazing show. Another episode of the Tipping Point Show. Y'all stick around because there's some big things on the horizon. So y'all stick around. You're going to see some things and hear some great things as time goes on. And with that being said, Lady Brazilian, and once again, she says, I like masculine men with a capital M.
With a capital M.
There you go. You gotta have a capital M. If your masculinity has a lowercase m, you're not getting the boss. Not at all. But all right, man. Hey, always a pleasure doing the show with you, brother. It's maturity, man. It's this show is mature, and I think we're helping some people grow up at the same time. And as Johnny says, as I age and grow wiser, I can understand the struggle of black men. If you're not emotional and attracted to men, you are seen as a cold-hearted man. And that is so unfortunate. It is disturbing how people want to feminize the man. Well, you take the strongest, let's be real. Okay. Organ wise, women have some of the strongest, black women have some of the strongest organs on earth. Right. Those are facts. We know that, right? A black woman's heart, for instance. But when you talk about a threat to, let's see, the breaking up, would you call a black man not a threat to society, but let's say if someone has an agenda, right, an improper agenda, then I would say that the black man would be a threat.
The first threat. It would be the first threat.
Agenda. Yeah. So if you're trying to control the people, the black man is a threat. If you're trying to corral people into being the same, doing what everybody else do, having that control over them, guess what? The black man would be the first threat. Because number one, everything is bullshit unless I'm running it myself. It's all everything else is bullshit. So with that in mind, I'm not gonna allow the bullshit in my family, in my space and whatnot, right? So with that in mind, you would have to effeminate, make men more effeminate. We was just laughing at Jamie Foxx when he was doing Shanae back in the day. Now it's a reality. You know what I mean? Now it's a reality. We got a bunch of Shanae running around.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And it's a normalcy now. You know what I mean? And I can't stand up and truly speak about it without being called politically incorrect and even potentially have legal issues come against you because of it. We're moving into that society. That's crazy. So we allowed a lot of this shit to happen and go down, bro. And this is the result of it. And I don't know where we're going from here. Hell with gasoline draws on or to implosive world at some point. I don't know. But it don't look good from this point. Either way.
Yep, either way. But you're right. Like I said, it's just the way of the way we're living in this society. We're moving further away, and there is an agenda, of course. And if you demasculate, if you take away the man's ability, you move him out the way. It is even said in the old biblical, kill the men and save the women, right? And so why the men? Because those are the warriors. Those are the ones going to keep the family intact. And it's very interesting. I was just reading or looking at a documentary on child molesting, and they were asking these grown child molesters, what kind of children did they choose? They choose them ones that don't have fathers. He said they choose the one that they think is not going to be a problem, right, from dad. And so it was one guy was talking about how he sees the woman raising the boy by herself. He tends to help her and shows liking to the boy to help her. You want me to babysit her while you have a night out? And then that's kind of how it happens. He moves in on the weak female that doesn't have a man in the house to get the children, right? So child molesters look for that. If it's a strong father, hands off, because it might be trouble. You touch that one. You see, so he touches the one that doesn't have a father. So you got to understand, masculinity protects you, women. It's not supposed to be watered down. No death is supposed to happen. Masculinity can fight to death. And we are supposed to die for the sake of our family. We are supposed to have that sword to where if you touch my kid, I'm going to kill you. It's just nothing wrong with making that statement, right? That's just a factual statement. You remove that element, now you become a victim, or you become vulnerable and attacked by someone because they don't see the male there. So understand how important it is. So while you are justifying feminizing men, you're killing the very thing that is keeping our society intact, specifically the Black community, right? So it's obvious there's an agenda to really water us down and to really depopulate us. And what better way to depopulate us is get men to put their penis in another man's behind, right? Because you can't produce nothing that way. So it's obvious that, and get women to bump their vaginas together. You ain't gonna produce nothing that way. So it's the greatest way to depopulate us is to get us to accept homosexuality and just be gay.
Man, all I can say is you know, the all that bumping and and pumping backwardsness is you know, I don't know what to say about it, but as it pertains to this particular statement here, you know, people got to wake the fuck up.
Got to
realize how they are participating in some of this nonsense. You know, I was trying to find this this one video of,
but you know what, Joe, we just got off the subject. We did a whole month subject on men's mental health. Now listen to this. We did a whole month subject talking about men's mental health, and it basically goes to how men identify themselves. Basically, are you man? You man enough? You ain't a real man if you don't open the door for me. All these things that men go through to try to identify his man. Am I supposed to pay all the bills? Am I supposed to pay a little of the bills? Right? And so here we are now at this point, like we ain't got enough problems for some woman to inject her toxicity on men coming together to have this, what we need. What we just talked about this, how men need to take boys and raise them, how we need to get some of these boys from these women that are having problems, raising them and put them in. You and I talked about creating a program for young boys for women can drop them off and we can teach them business and stuff, right? But when you sit there and inject that in there, you're adding more to the problem of men's psychic. You're adding more to it because there's some men see that shit and they don't know how to challenge that. When I first saw it, I knew, fuck, I'm gonna challenge that shit. But some men be like, they don't really know how to challenge it. And it's like, but the men who was on the post, everybody who see it and you ask them that question, that ain't a good way of putting it. Emotionally attractive, that kind of rubs us the wrong way. Masculine men, I don't know about the other ones, but the masculine men, it kind of rubs them a little wrong. Yeah, you know, like I said, if you would have said another word like competitively attractive, now we'd be like, yes, that's correct. But using that word emotion, which is a feminine word, it's been feminized. You shouldn't call a man emotional. That's something you shouldn't. That'll trigger him right there. You call him emotional. You call him a girl. It's almost like calling a brother emotional. You emotional. It's just as close as calling him a girl. Nigga, you a girl.
One brother, he said, Ethan McKenzie, he said the verbiage is triggering when the definition isn't understood. Yet this is exactly what makes barbershop talk so reverent among us men. If we substituted attracted with comfortable, I'm almost certain more men would agree. Can't get lost in semantics. It derails the conversation.
Correct.
And so you know, it's interesting the way it happens. One hurt person posts something with you know, behind it is their hurt, and then it gets taken and moved around and shared and becomes viral, and the whole original definition gets tainted or what have you, right?
Correct.
But you know, it's interesting nonetheless. And I'm gonna play this. You got something to say before we jump out? Because I want to play this this little clip real quick.
Rock it.
All right. And this kind of goes along with what we are talking about right here, right now. This is pretty hilarious. Let me see.
Give me a boy's name that starts. I just had a moment. And that's me and my wife's song too. I met her 86, 87 when the song came out. Then God gave her back to me in 2005. I put her name on the back, man. You understand me? That's mine right there. Yeah, I own you and you own me. I will kill everybody in here about your ass. Please understand that about the way I love you, Marjorie Elaine. You understand me? I kill everybody in here. I swear to God I will. You can ask the Lord about me. I'll kill every... rescued and changed my life.
I just thought that was hilarious, bro. But you know, hey, a real man, like you said, man, we're gonna go to war for ours, for our family. We'll lay it down. We'll die for all of that for our family, man. And you can worry about the emotion side of it later. But you know, I kill everybody in here for mine. Don't play. I don't see how none. Hey, and I've said this before. I don't understand like how the Trayvon Martin fathers, the you know those man. Let me tell you something. Don't let it ever be mine, because I will DC sniper, hide in bushes left, right, and everything for mine. There will be a lot of dead people in my in the wake of my tyranny. That's an absolute, and call it whatever you want. Man, male, if that's effeminate to you, then fine. Whatever you want to call it, and guess what? Everybody dies for mine. That's how that's gonna be. But nonetheless, we'll see you guys next week.
Peace, man. Great show.
Hey, absolutely. Same place, same time, folks. It is the Tipping Point Morning Show. We'll ride out with some commercials and such, and we'll see y'all next week.
I don't need to sit at your table. We building one. We in the process of building a table. We building a table. I don't gotta sit at your table. I'm building my own table, and I will build you a table in the presence of your enemies.
Thank you, Truth Be Told, for allowing God's Lives Matter to be a sponsor. Wearable Products, as the purple t-shirt, is bearing witness every life created by God has infinite value. Visit God'sLivesMatter.com.
BB Trading Company, home of soap, sticks, and Saya Baba products. Over 400 locations at a store near you. Cincinnati, Ohio, Louisville and Lexington, Kentucky, Southern Indiana, or find yours online at SayaBaba.com. Again, that's SayaBaba.com. A BB Trading Company, where you can find fragrances to incite your senses.
Hey folks, check out HealthDaddyWow.net. 100% plant-based herbs and supplements. Whether you're in person or online, use the word tipping for 10% off. Remember, feel better, look great, HealthDaddyWow.net. Remember, HealthDaddyWow.net.
You are listening to The Tipping Point Show with your host, Mr. Just Ask Joe, John Yeah. Right here on WLOU. Stream it live on Facebook and WLOUonline.com. And now, The Tipping Point Show.